So we're back, and I'm literally just drying off the last few bits on these gears. And what's so remarkable, Marui gets a bit of stick for making them out of, people say they make them out of bad materials or weak materials as such. Now that gear is 10 years old. It has zero wear on it. The next gear that connects to the same one as that, you know, absolutely zero wear on the gear, like brand new. And bevel gear, just dry that off. Again, it's quite remarkable really. There's just not one bit of wear on that gear. The last one, however, is made of a different material, and we couldn't really see it at first, but now it's clean. Is showing wear, which you'd expect. I mean, 10 years for a standard set of gears coming out of the factory, even if they're made of steel, is quite a difficult task, especially if it's been used quite well. And the amount of wear on that is, again, it's not 10 years worth of wear. So, do we have a gear that's got less wear? That one's looking good. Now we had a couple of these. That one looks like a Chinese gear, I'm not going to lie. Which has pretty much zero wear on it, but I don't really want to use it. So, back to the cleaning process. We'll clean this gear that's in better condition and we'll be back straight away. Just like magic, we are back. Let's pop these gears in and see what they do. So we've got the bevel gear, let's pop that in there. Got the sector gear. Spins lovely on these Hilux bearings. So I can feel a bit on that one. So let's pop the shims on. Extremely apologetic if this part is of any way boring to you, but it's got to be done. Hopefully I can cut it down in the edit, and then we can save you time wasted. The gearbox screws are in, and straight away I can tell it's not shifting anywhere. So my memory's about to go on the camera, the battery's probably about to go as well, so I'll nip that there and I'll be back on camera when this is back up and running, and we'll carry on with the footage. So in the last episode that you will have seen, we were getting into the shimming of the gearbox, and then the camera battery and the memory card were giving me some issues as per normal. Such is life. So once that had happened, I'd literally just made sure I put the components in, shimmed the gearbox to a point that sounded really super smooth. And then what I want to do now is I'm just going to open this back up, if it allows me to do so. And we're going to get some of the upgrade parts installed. Everything barring the piston, because I'm still waiting on the piston head itself. So what I'll do is I'll use the original piston that was in there, and then once the piston head comes in I can pop it onto the hard piston and then just swap that part out. So let's take all this back out. So we know the gears are good, so they can stay there. The motor, again, we can adjust when it's ready. So the first part we're going to put in is the hard anti-reversal latch. Let's get this unwrapped. They really like to wrap these things up. And comes with a spring as well, which is nice. Spring being black, I'm just going to open it on this chipboard just so I can see where it is. And that actually looks really really nice. Not too dissimilar from the standard one, which means that's good. And then we're just going to pull the gears out just so we can install this properly. There we go. And then we're just going to pop the anti-reversal latch into place. It's a really super easy install for as far as anti-reversal latches go. Is that going to stop it? I actually don't believe the spring is doing what it should do. I'm wondering if they give you that spring in case you're using this part with different AEP gearboxes. Maybe. But this one seems to have a lot more effect on it. Let's put that shim into place. Right, pop the motor up. Very fiddly, these little gearboxes, so now the anti-reversal latch works. Pop this gear back in there. This one. And the final gear back in as well. Let me know what you think of this new camera angle. We actually made a rig just for the camera, just to make sure it's top down centre, because it's very difficult with a bipod as such, because it's always, you're either having to reach round the camera or it's pointing over your shoulder. It always gives that really weird angle effect. So actually with this straight above, I might try just zooming this in for you so you can see a little bit better. So as you can see, the anti-reversal latch is in there now. The spring that came with the anti-reversal latch was no good. It wasn't strong enough, so I've actually just put the standard Marui one on there, off the Marui anti-reversal latch. Like I said, they might include that part just to tide you over if you're using like one of the AEP pistols or something. They might be different. Let's put that to one side. So we've got the original piston out of the Marui with the Eagle 6 spring. We're actually going to remove that nozzle, and we don't need the cylinder head or the cylinder itself because we've got the new ones. Zoom you out a little bit there so you can see better. So the nice new air seal cylinder. It's actually slightly beveled on one side, so that side goes forward. Put the cylinder head out. Very, very nice. Nice red anodised colour that they do. Now this is the one out of the mystery gearbox, and this is the nozzle out of the original. And I'm probably going to go with the original, to be honest, because I know it's a Marui one. It looks like the opening's a little bit wider as well. Let's put that away. Let's give this a little wipe over. I'm going to pop the nozzle in there. That fits in there really nice. Moves nicely as well. We're going to pop that in. We're going to latch the nozzle on. You're going to latch on. There we go. It has got a bit of a damper on the front of this cylinder head, so I'm hoping that will help with any gearbox fractures. We've got the spring guide as well to go on. It does have a little shim there, hopefully to help with the rotation of the spring. Nice anodised finish. That cylinder, the piston head's quite loose, so let's see if we can tighten that up. There we go. Just put a little bit of silicone on this O-ring. It's fairly dry. It's a tiny amount. We are going to open this gearbox back up and do a full re-grease and such. I just want to make sure everything fits correctly. That goes in okay. Spring goes in. Now this one's got a lot more tension on it than the other one. Hopefully not too much. Jesus. There we go. Just a little bit of persuasion, but we got there in the end. Let's hold that down with something heavy. Unless we can get the screws out with one hand. So these again, 9-ball by Lilacs hard screw set. In hindsight, I probably should have got these out first. Let's get this open. Actually comes with 5, which is strange. Perhaps they give you a spare. These Torx heads look a lot smaller. I'll be right back when I've got the right Torx bit. So it's a T4 you'll need for these bits. I think you get three shorts and 2 longs. I suppose it depends whether you're putting this into an AEP or a pistol or a CMG like this. It actually says M93R on the box, so it could be that they give you enough screws for all the gearboxes. It would make sense. So let's pop this long one out, put a short one in instead. If you haven't got Torx bits to hand like this, especially like I've got a set from like T4 to T20, you're going to be a bit stuck. So if you are thinking about upgrading one of these gearboxes and you're going to do the hard screw set, make sure you go out and get a set of Torx screwdrivers. That's going to make your life easier. So those bits are in. So pretty much all components there apart from the upgraded piston. Let's make sure that the piston moves. It does not, so we might be latched onto a gear there. See if we can give it a quick jump start. Don't do this at home. Definitely don't do this at home. Yep, turns over. Tappet plate's moving, gears are moving. Let's try and give it another bump. Let's try and give it a burst. That's got some it's got some oomph to it, that has. Turns over nicely. We might wait till we can get it hooked up to the trigger switch and then I can test the motor height, because I don't really want to be doing that by hand. In fact, we could do. Oh, duty calls.
Close your eyes, will you dream for me some